Welcome to the Fit Dad Nation podcast, forging strong fathers and raising a stronger generation. It's time to get up or shut up with your host, Steve Roy.
Hey there, guys. This is Steve Roy, host of the Fit Dad Nation podcast. Welcome to the show. I do appreciate you listening. Appreciate it very much. In a world filled with way too much information about the fitness, diet, health space, I'm glad that you're listening to this. If you haven't heard me say this before, I just try to be, as real as possible. There's just so much fucking garbage out there in terms of just misinformation and marketing and sales crap that it's really difficult to know who is actually trying to help you and who is actually trying to separate you from your money. Before we jump in, I just want to invite you guys to apply to one of two groups. We have a free private Facebook group called the Fit Dad Basecamp. You can apply there, fitdadnation.com/community. I've got about 800 or so guys in there working together, just trying to, get one day better. We also have our private membership program. This is called the Inner Circle, the Fit Dad Nation Inner Circle, where we do monthly challenges. And we kind of do more of a deep dive into things, and I really try to work with guys on an individual basis to get through what they're going through. Every guy has a different story. Everyone's going through something else. Right now, we're just at the tail end of a 40-day fat loss challenge called Operation Fat Ass. You've heard me talk about it in previous episodes. And I'll share my journey when it's over, but I will say that there's a few guys that have reached out to me that are over 20 pounds lost just in a short amount of time, and I'll share those stories as well coming up, I guess, probably next week. So I was on Instagram today, and if you follow me on Instagram, I'm kind of inconsistent with posting. And the reason is, honestly, when I open up Instagram, I want to shut it down immediately because I think it's terrible. I hate, literally, and I use this word not as an exaggeration, but I hate Instagram because I just really think that it's nothing but, for the most part, nothing but just snapshots of what people want us to think about them. They want us to see, and it's not reality. And it's actually touched me on a couple of personal different levels that I won't get into now, but I just despise it. So when I open it up, it typically lasts a couple seconds, and I don't. I look for there's a few people that I do follow that I actually really enjoy, like Jonathan Goodman, Tony Gentilcore. Trying to think off the top of my head, just a couple people, Jordan Syatt, a couple people that I actually know that they're putting out good content, and you can trust what they're telling you. But like everybody else's feed, it's filled with just bullshit after bullshit, hard bodies, abs, chicks flashing their tits and ass, talking about XYZ diet. It's just nonsense. So anyway, the reason I say that is because I don't post very often, because when I get on there, I totally just lose interest in doing anything with it. So I open it up with the intention of putting something up there, realize how much I hate it, and then I close it back down and I don't post. So anyway, honestly, it's probably not the wisest decision for me to do that, only because I have an online business and I rely on folks out on the internet to become clients. So yeah, it's probably not the wisest business decision, but I just have a really tough time. Anyway, I want to talk about something. So actually, the point I brought that up for was I saw a post, and I can't remember from who now, and it had a couple of tips and ideas, and I started thinking about, hey, this kind of makes sense. So I put together my own little list here, and let's see, it's about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have got 7 things here. Just 7 things that, I've talked about before. I've talked about all of these things at one point. And as you all know, I like to reiterate the basics. You're not going to hear me pitching something new every week. You're not going to hear me jumping from one diet to the next or one program to the next saying this is the best thing for you, or this supplement is going to be the best thing ever, or this is a way to shortcut your way to a better body. You're never going to hear me do that because it's just not accurate information. It's just so I tend to repeat myself a lot with the hopes that even if you have listened to other shows that share the similar messages, that just reinforces that, because I truly believe, and I've been doing this since 1997, that there's no secret at all. There's no hack. There's no gimmick. There's no supplement that's going to fix you. None of those things. It's just, there are a few ways to gain a very, very slight edge, but to be honest with you, it's just not worth it. So again, I like to go back to just a handful of basics, and honestly, the things that I'm going to share today, it's just basic stuff. But if you can actually do them, I'm going to challenge you to just do these 7 things, right? And it's not going to be that hard. You can write them down and just make a note of them and just do your best every day to try to get as close to that as possible. And just understanding that when you make decisions, you're either making a decision to get healthier or you're making a decision to get less healthy, right? I do believe that there are good foods and I do believe there are bad foods. There's a lot of controversy over that. I think you're getting healthier or you're getting less healthy with every decision you make. And then, again, I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying this is what I believe, and I'm going to share it. But I'm going to share these things here. And again, I want you to pay attention. I want you to try to think about how these fit into your life now, and how you can start just kind of adapting these mindsets. And I honestly will say that it's going to help you tremendously. Even if you tell me that a couple of these are ridiculous and I'm never going to do that, that's okay too. But try to incorporate some of these into your life. So number 1, I'll say, when it comes to health, when it comes to fitness, nutrition, losing weight, getting stronger, getting leaner, feeling better, all those things, I believe that less is more. I believe that simplicity is one of the keys to lasting success. It's extremely easy to get caught up in like programs or diets that have a lot of moving parts. And the more complicated you make your health and fitness, the less likely you are to stick with it, because we're creatures, we like simple. We're always going to want to follow the path of least resistance. And that doesn't mean laziness. That just means we're going to try to get there faster. And by throwing in things that just make it harder for you to stick with, it doesn't work long term, right? People buy these cookbooks, for example, and it sounds great on paper, and you're like, I got this. And you start going through it. And I've read I've read a lot of cookbooks. And for the most part, you start thumbing through them. You're like, I'm going to make this tonight, right? And so you go to the store, you load up on 18 different ingredients that are in your healthy keto recipe. You make it, you eat it, it was okay. Next day rolls around, you're like, I got to go shopping again. You go shopping again, cook all the food, eat it. Okay, this is good. So by the 3rd, 4th day, now it's not nearly as exciting to go back to the store again to buy a bunch of different ingredients that you're going to use for 1 or 2 meals, right? Then all of a sudden, your daughter's got a softball game or something happens at work, and you're like, shit, I can't get to the store, and I don't have time to cook tonight, so what are we going to do? And then within a week, maybe 2 at the most, that cookbook is now on your shelf collecting dust, and you will probably never go back to it. The reason I know this is because it happens to me. It's happened to me. I'm sitting down in my office right now looking over at my bookcases, and it's filled with books, and there are definitely some cookbooks on there that I have not touched in years for that reason. It's a pain in the ass. So I make things as simple as possible for me. I take 3 steps into my garage from my basement. That's my gym. That's fucking simple as shit, right? I go in there. I've got kettlebells, some weights, some dumbbells, medicine balls. I work out, and I'm done. Okay? Of course, not everybody has a gym, but make it as easy as yourself in that regard. And then the bigger piece, really, when it comes to simplicity, is food, right? We all know that food dictates your ability to lose weight, to lose fat. Why are you going to make it so complicated that you're bummed out every time you think about having to eat? Because you're like, fuck, I don't want to make that. That's a pain in the ass, right? So make it easy. I mean, it's that simple, guys. Make it easy. I eat 3 or 4 eggs with a little bit of cheese in the morning. If I want some extra carbs, I'll have like some potatoes. You buy like these frozen diced potatoes. You buy a bag of them for a couple bucks. I take a handful, cook them in olive oil with some seasoning, and there's your carbohydrate. If not, I'll have, maybe just some berries or something, maybe some bacon, right? I mean, that's pretty simple. Lunch, I have a protein, and I'll have either a starch or a vegetable. I tend to buy a lot of meat. You can cook ground beef, you can cook a steak, whatever. Simple stuff, just seasoning. And the same thing for dinner. Like, I don't want a recipe that has 47 ingredients. I don't care if it's the most delicious thing on the face of the earth. I'm not making it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend my time prepping and cooking and all that shit. I just don't want to do it. So I honestly have an easier time eating healthy because I eat like 5 different foods. If you can make that work for yourself, great. I don't mind making tacos for the kids and me have something else like a rotisserie chicken with some salad. It's not that big of a deal, right? I mean, I'm not going to do that every meal. Sometimes I'll have that with them, and that's fine too. But again, please just understand that less is more. Something that I learned too is, and this is a point, is I tend to be an all or none person. So when I'm eating shitty and not taking care of myself, I go all in on that, meaning I just say, fuck it. And I just don't give a shit. And I feel like shit. And it just snowballs from there. And then I'll throw a challenge down. I'll challenge myself. I'll challenge the group. I'll do a personal challenge with the family, whatever. And then I go all in the other direction. And it's like a huge swing. And for me, that's okay. That's how I operate. And some people are like that. But I want you to recognize that you don't have to go all in. I actually do think that having that mentality in the short term can help. Like, okay, guys, so when we started this 40-day fat loss challenge, for example, I challenged them to follow a primal-based diet, to train every day, to do some mobility, and drink enough water. And your goal was to go and hit those 4 things every day. And so for some of those guys, they were like, okay, that's it. These are my 4 goals. I'm going all in on this stuff. I'm going to get to the gym every day, and I'm following this primal diet, despite the fact that I've been eating, fast food and garbage for so long, and it works. Others really struggled with it, couldn't stick with it, and that's okay too. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. If you incorporate some healthier things into your diet, awesome, right? If you can remove a few things, you stop drinking soda, stop drinking energy drinks, right? Stop going to Dunkin' Donuts, stop having a muffin in the morning instead, just those little things, right? You don't have to go all or none. You don't have to think I'm a complete failure if I don't strictly adhere to a particular diet or a particular method or a particular whatever. Doesn't have to be that way. If that works for you like it does for me, awesome, do it. If it doesn't, don't beat yourself up. It's easy to beat yourself up and call yourself a failure because you can't stick to the keto diet or the primal diet or paleo diet or whatever diet. And you're not a failure. You only fail when you throw your hands up in the air and say, I quit. I can't do it anymore. It's just too hard. I'm just going to go back to being like I was, even though I'm not very happy with myself. This is too difficult, right? Fitness shouldn't be about that. Getting healthy shouldn't be about that. So please just keep that in mind. Next up, I'll tell you, and this is a big one, stop chasing weight loss. Drives me crazy. I got to lose 15 pounds. My question is why? Why do you want to lose 15 pounds? How is that going to change your life? And you have to ask yourself that question. Be honest with yourself, right? You've been carrying around a bunch of extra weight for a long, long time, right? You're not happy with your body. Your energy probably sucks. Confidence probably isn't that great. And you want to lose some weight. Awesome, right? It's great. But what is that specifically going to do for you? What does that losing that 15 pounds mean, right? Sure, yeah, it's significant. Sure, it's a win. Of course, right? But instead of chasing after pounds, trying to get to a specific weight, I really think if you just start being good to your body will reward you. I've seen it time and time again. Without going to any type of extremes, giving up all the things you love to eat and do, right? You don't have to do that. Just start being better to your body. Make decisions that are going to help your health, not hurt them, right? On a Saturday, when you might do something that requires very little effort, instead, jump on your bike, with or without your family. Go find a local trail, ride 15 miles. It doesn't take that long. It's not that hard. Okay. Something like that where you're active, right? It's helping your health. Is that ride going to change your life? Of course not, but it's going to make, it makes for a better decision. Okay. You go to the store, you throw some things in the cart that are crappy for you, maybe put a couple back and instead make a better decision. Go down the fresh produce aisle, throw some extra meat in there. Okay. Focus on more vegetables and fruits. Okay. And less crackers and cookies. Okay. If you just start making those better decisions, even little ones like that, your body is going to reward you. And I'm not saying you're going to make this massive transformation quickly, which you probably are not, but this is your life. You have to look at it as a long-term thing, right? Just start doing healthier things for yourself. And one day you are going to wake up and realize, hey man, I feel a lot better than I did a couple years ago. And you realize that it was these small things that all added up. So it's really important, guys. Next up, and I've talked about this at length, is consistency is more important than intensity. I've seen a lot of guys, they get fired up for something, a workout or a challenge or whatever, and they just go balls to the wall. Not only is that a bad idea because guys that have been out of shape for a while and haven't done a whole lot tend to go overdo it. They want to relive their glory days. They want to lift the weights they did years and years ago, and your body's just not prepared to do that, and you end up not only not being able to do it, but open yourself up for just injuries, and it doesn't make sense. Instead, just start a light program, right? Strength training is critical, absolutely critical, regardless of your goals. Make it your priority. 3-4 times a week, plenty. Okay, get really, really consistent with using heavy weights. 3-4 times a week, full body is fine, right? Hit the big movements, the pulls, the pushes, the pressing, the hinging, the squatting, the lunging, stuff like that. Doesn't have to be any specific exercise. Just follow the basics of big compound movements. 3-4 times a week. Throw in some cardio in there, some conditioning type of work. A couple days a week. Get a lot of walking in, and just get consistent with it. And you'll be surprised at how effective it is. Instead of going balls to the wall for 30 days, blowing yourself out, seeing some results in the short term, but you're smoked, and you stop after 30 days, and you go right back to where you were. So focus on consistency instead of just intensity. Okay? A couple more things. Find a reason or a why, as in why this is important to you. Really, really important, guys. You have to know why you're doing this, because just do it to do it because I want to lose weight, that's not a good enough reason. It's not going to get you out of bed. It's not going to motivate you. It's not going to inspire you. Figure out why it's so important for you to drop that weight or to get to whatever your goal is. You have to be emotionally driven, and your job is to find it. Okay? Just joining a challenge because it sounds cool or your buddy's doing it, and you're not really, really emotionally invested in it, you're going to give up at the first sign of resistance. And that happens time and time again. It happens every single challenge I've ever run in my whole career as a coach. And I've run maybe, hundreds of challenges. Always, 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 without exception, at least one person quits. And it's because they joined for the wrong reasons. It doesn't matter how much it costed them money-wise. They weren't emotionally invested, and shit got hard, and they gave up and went back to doing what they were doing, right? Nothing you can do about that. I mean, from a coaching standpoint, try my best. But that's why, though, when you get ready to make a big change and you want to start incorporating some healthier choices, figure out and think about it, why you want that. Next up, be accountable. Can't say this enough. It's why our men's groups are successful, is because the guys are accountable to other guys. They're accountable to me. Other guys are invested. They care about your success. Trying to do it alone doesn't work. Okay, it's very, very hard to stay the course when you're all by yourself and you know that nobody is watching your progress and nobody cares if you quit. Like, nobody will blink an eye. They don't even know. They don't know you're doing anything, so why would they know if you quit? So it makes it 10 times easier to just fall out and disappear if nobody knows, right? And maybe that's your strategy, but that strategy doesn't work, right? Put your ass on the line. I have guys post their before photos before we start different challenges and programs, And that's for accountability. It's not because I want to see guys with their shirts off. I want them to get very uncomfortable by posting their own photos, which 99% of these guys like hate their photos. Like, oh my God, I can't believe what a fat fucking piece of shit I am. I look terrible, but I have to do this, guys. And I feel the same way. If I post my photos somewhere or I put myself out there, yeah, it's for a very specific reason. Okay, so be accountable to somebody, something, some group, somewhere that is invested in you too. Extremely, extremely important. Last thing, I don't want to say this is the most important, but it's extremely important. Recognize and understand that regardless of how committed you are right now or how committed you're going to be at some point to change. And some guys that I've seen have gone just crazy with this, the health thing and done tremendously well. But recognize that you are absolutely going to fuck up at some point. You're going to be thrown off by something or someone, the situation, stress. Life will absolutely get in the way at some point. Your job is not to quit. Do not quit. I just spent 4 days in Virginia Beach at a pickleball camp. I've shared this before. I love pickleball. And we were on the courts for 12 to 14 hours a day. The camps weren't that long, but we stayed and played and played and played. And yeah, did I ever do it? Absolutely, right? I just played. It was hot and humid and nasty, but when you love something the way I love pickleball, you don't ever want it to stop and you want to get better, and that's what we did. And because of that, I was down there with a buddy. We didn't make time to shop and cook, right? We waited till the last minute, and we were starving at the end of the day, and we made some decisions like going to Fuddruckers. We went to Fuddruckers one day. We went to some pizza joint. Went to Chick-fil-A one day. And I'm doing this challenge, right? So I told my guys in the challenge, this is what happened, right? Ran out of time. I'm burning 1 million calories a day because I'm sweating all day, busting my ass on the courts. And I chose not to cook. I chose to eat some shitty foods. And that's fucking up my challenge, absolutely. But I'm already recognized that that's what I was going to do. I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay sharing with it. Do I think I'm a complete failure because I fucked up my challenge and I didn't check my box that I was eating all primal? No, of course not. It happens, right? It was my decision. I knew it was going to happen, even though I went into the weekend like, you know what? I'll probably, I'll be fine. I'll find some primal foods. I'll be eating healthier and shit. When it came time to it, all I wanted to do was be on that court hitting those balls, and I didn't want to worry about anything else. And that's what ended up happening. And yeah, we just decided to eat some stuff that, isn't on my quote unquote eat list. But again, shit got in the way. I made those decisions. I moved on back to it. I'm home now, back to eating the foods that I'm committed to eating, and I'm fine. Did I gain any weight? No, I burned it all off. I mean, even if I gained a pound or two, I don't give a shit. That's going to be gone. I'm not going to gain a pound or two of fat from having a few bad meals. It's not how the body works. So for you, recognize that there absolutely will be times, even if you're just so committed to it, things absolutely, as a father, will get in the way. 100% of the time, you're not going to get through this unscathed. You're going to make decisions that aren't healthy. Just something's going to come up. You're going to miss a workout. You're going to miss multiple workouts. You're going to go off the rails eating desserts and whatever. Shake it off. Doesn't mean anything. Get back after it. That's it. Right? I don't even after sharing that with my guys, I don't think about it anymore. I don't care. Doesn't mean anything to me that I ate that Fuddruckers burger and all those fries and had even a soda, which I hadn't had in a while. It's gone. It's done. Made that decision. I'm living with it. It's okay. I'm back to where I want to be. Boom. Anyway, guys, I hope this helps. Please take some of this stuff seriously. It honestly can change your life. I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if you want more information, check out the Fit Dad Basecamp group on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by fitdadnation.com. Until next time, keep kicking ass and taking the next step. You can do this, Dad.